Hey, it's Jake Brewer, and you're watching The Music Enthusiast. It's a great question. I really see Loverboy as a huge kind of shift in the musical choices that I've made. All of the other songs I've sort of released, especially recently, have been really um, deep and kind of introspective in a way, and really kind of uncover a part of myself, whether it be not super uh, apparent. But Loverboy really kind of takes on this really modern part of my life and a sort of comedic sense. And producer Al Reardon and I really kind of collaborated really well on this one, where so much of my personality and just the like, whatever, like this sucks, but like this can be like a little bit of a good time with it. That sort of like energy is put into this like upbeat and like, not to pat myself on the back, but I think kind of comically written sort of song that has this sort of sad bop energy. I think it's really fun, and it has this really positive outlook and just really embodies kind of what I always try to see in everything, even if that means, a failed relationship or whatever it be. And so much of it is inspired by New York. It was one of the songs written for the upcoming album while I was living here in New York, and it's just a huge part of me, and it's fun. People always kind of told me I was the guy next door, like boy next door sort of vibe, and we just really decided to give into that and play into that with this one. Yeah, my first concert was the High School Musical concert, not the play, not the little musical, like it was the actual like stars. And I had the biggest crush on Ashley Tisdale, whatever year that was. It must have been like what, 2007, 2008. So I was maybe 10 years old. I just remember, I don't think we could have been further from the stage, but that was like the highlight of my entire childhood. I think I like discovered the meaning of life that night. Oh my God. Oh, whoa. What a good question. Okay. I wasn't prepared for this. Maybe not of all time. I, and not just because it was re-released recently, like Taylor Swift's like Red was a huge album for me in terms of like really learning what songwriting was. And so I think I have that association. I think every single song on that album is absolutely phenomenal. And then this is like, oh my God, do I not even remember the name of it? I know the cover of it. It's oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Matt Carney's I think it's called Young Love, and it's like a neon green color. Because when we had iTunes, like, and I had to buy that, like that, I spent the only $10 I had to buy that album, and I know that album like front to back, and I listen to it still to this day, and it's really old. I think that's probably my favorite album of all time. It was really strange actually compared to the other ones, because I had this idea of really kind of playing into something like kind of fun and just like random in the sense of like something I never really had written before. I was talking to my producer and I was like, I really want to create a song that we can do, that won't be out yet, and to really kind of give these people something special. But I want it to be like really upbeat, and I really wanted to show my personality, because we're playing these incredible shows, and a lot of these people are going to be like, this is gonna be the first time people are gonna really listen to me, and it's such a huge first impression opportunity. I had started writing a song kind of just about like observing like somebody else, and so the song kind of starts with like, oh, like what this like hypothetical random girl did of like moving down to the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and what her kind of like goals were and observation, and like kind of the story follows how like I become intertwined with that. It was really fun just to write a story. It's not literal, it wasn't inspired by anything, but I don't think I ever rewrote a part of it. I think I wrote the whole thing, and I sent the producer the demo, and she wrapped it up, and I was like, great. In the song there's like these oh yeah like kind of like things too, because I really wanted it to come across as like, this is not me taking myself seriously, and it almost seems like unconventional and like it doesn't fit in a way, but like it has this motto of like, well, like whatever. I did those plenty of times. There are versions of the song though with those sounding awful. Everyone sent back on those, they're like, you sound so bored, because like the oh yeah would be like, oh yeah, and they were like, no, they're like, you didn't sell it with that. So I did that part at least probably 10 times. Other than that though, the song didn't change. Well, my favorite part of the song is the very end, because we threw in this little like chanting like baby, 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 like kind of like melody. I wanted it to be this crowd interaction part of every time I played the song live. It just really feels like me in the sense of it just wants to have like a good time and like, like there's no shame in just enjoying life for a night and then accepting something tomorrow. Every other song I've written is very much about overthinking and really kind of analyzing parts of my life. And this one is the exact opposite. It goes, don't think about it too much and just see where something can go. What's next for me musically is this upcoming album. It's gonna be out later this spring. I feel confident saying that now because I need to hold myself to that. But I think I'm really, really proud of who I'm showcasing in this project. I wrote a lot of songs that I've wanted to write for a long time, songs that were once like scrapped because it just didn't feel like now was the time. And it's very literal. Every single song was inspired by a thought that I had or some desire I had. I never wrote just to write. It was always inspired by something. And I think what's so cool about this project specifically is that we really released it as I was writing it. We released Pilot approaching a year ago. We're not like there yet. Well, actually not really close at all. It was maybe like 6-7 months. But that's how long it's felt. And that was the first song that we finished for the album. And then we released Slowly Fell Undone. And then that was the most recent song. Like when those two songs were out, those are the only two songs that were done. And so it was really scary for me, but I really wanted people to kind of listen to me progress as I was doing it myself. With the rest of the songs that are on this album, I think you really unlock a different part of the way that I think my songwriting is the best it's ever been. I still listen to the finished songs back and like I am so proud of it, and so proud in the sense of like the entire world could actively hate it, like like riot against this album, and I still think I would love it because it tells like my thoughts and my stories so perfectly. There's a song in the album called Blonde, and I played it live once, so there is a small room of people who have heard it. I think I think it's the best song I've ever written, like by far. It just blows everything else out of the water. Whether they like it or not, like again, that's totally okay. There is like an umbrella theme to the whole album, and that comes across in the title, and I'm excited for when I get to finally explain all that, because I think you'll listen to the album in a really special way understanding that. Oh my god, I am like deeply obsessed with Gracie Abrams right now. I downloaded her album to listen to on a plane recently, and I listened to that album for the entire like 6-hour flight because it's just so phenomenally written and so phenomenally produced that like I was just blown away. I can listen to it like as a background thing, like while I'm doing whatever, but also like if I just want to like lay down and listen to music exclusively, like that's also the great project to do that. And she balanced it so well. Oh, she's gonna be my top artist on Spotify this year. It's like it's February, and she's gonna be my top art. I already know it because of how much I've listened to that entire album. What's so funny is I don't know the names of the songs though, because I just listened to the thing all the way through. So I'm like looking at the track list and like, I don't know which one but I know what they are because I know how they go. Like, I don't even know if I have like a favorite just because I listen to it collectively as a whole, which I think is so hard to do, where like every single song can stand on its own, but like the album itself has such a strong message. Anyway, yeah, I'm obsessed with her. My first reaction is like, there's probably something better to like, I was like, don't, which is not my answer. I think if you're really just looking for a different kind of like way to story tell and something that's really unconventional, and I really try to be inspired by what other people are creating and kind of what people are listening to. But I think I've gotten really good at kind of stopping how much that inspires me, so I'm not recreating what other people are doing. And I think every single song is going to sound super different, which is why I hope people kind of keep coming back to it, is because you can hear the past 3 songs that I've released, but you have no idea what Loverboy is going to sound like, because it's going to be totally different. And then the next one that's after Loverboy is totally different. And I just want to keep people on their toes, because that's just the way that we consume. I really just try to tell the story of young 20s through my eyes. Then that's for somebody. And if not, that's okay too. It's my story. And if people want to be a part of it, I'd love to have them.